everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, but I went from one mini vacation to a long vacation of being in Iowa with my family. I've just been spending some good family time together, so I do have a video coming up, but there's a couple more little things I want to put in there first before I post it. So I figured I just finished a book and I'm going to talk about it for a little bit. And that is No Rest for the Dead, which is technically written by 26 people, but it was edited together by Andrew F. Gulley. I believe it's F. Yes, Andrew F. Gulley. I literally just finished this book. It was good. I'm hesitant to say that. I want to talk about this book because I feel like it's different than other mysteries that I've read. So in most mystery novels that I've read, most of the book is dedicated to the detective investigating certain people, and you are only seeing it from the detective's point of view. It's always a current murder or just an unsolved murder, and it's been a while, so they're trying to figure out the details. And this one is a little different. So for this book, the general plot of the story is that a man has been murdered and his wife is actually tried and committed for his murder. And at the very beginning, she's executed. So she does die for this crime. But she and a few others believe that she is innocent of the crime. So 10 years later, in the wife's will, she states that she wants a memorial to be held in her honor. I'm not quite sure what her reasoning was, but that was part of her will, was to have a 10-year reunion of everyone who was involved in her life. I thought that that reunion would be closer to the beginning, and then most of it would be fleshing out each of the characters and it being kind of like a long dinner party kind of thing. That's not what happened. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. This is purely just the setup of the plot itself, without spoilers. But the first maybe 50 pages was talking about the wife when she's alive, and then it talks about her execution, which I think is a really good representation of lethal injections gone bad. So if you're one of those people who thinks, oh, lethal injections aren't that bad, it's a humane way to do it, you should read this book, because if you don't do any research on it, they go bad frequently. Anyway, side note. So you see her execution and you kind of start to learn some of the people involved in their lives, but then it also takes you back to the days before the husband is murdered and the events leading up to the day where he's found dead. So that's the first about 50 pages. I really love that. It was going really well for me. And then the next legit 50% of the book here is following each of those characters after the 10 years has gone by and just kind of learning about what they're doing right now. And then they get these letters about the reunion and how they're reacting to that information. That's kind of it. It's not so much laying out puzzle pieces for you. It's just more of I guess, a character study of what people do in different situations, which was interesting. I wasn't hating it. I was liking it. I wouldn't say it was keeping me gripped into the story. But then the last 25% is the reunion and the aftermath of that reunion. It was definitely a different setup than what I was expecting from this book. I wouldn't say it was necessarily in a good way or a bad way. I would just want you to know going into this, it's more character focused rather than mystery plot focused. I will say that I really liked how there are multiple characters that are set up to be the culprit, and they do a really good job of evenly distributing suspicion about who actually killed the husband. So I felt like that was done really well. And I know what you're all wanting me to talk about is the whole 26 authors in one book. Did it actually work? And I'll say, yeah, It really actually did work. What I did notice is that some of the bigger authors on here, like Sandra Brown, Jeffrey Deaver, R.L. Stein, I know I saw Deanna Gabaldon. Yeah, Deanna Gabaldon. They didn't write very long chapters, or they didn't write very many of them. So if you're only going into this book wanting to read more of your favorite authors, trying to write one story, you're not really going to get it here. It's mainly these, to me, unknown authors that are writing bigger sections of the book. And honestly, I kind of like that, because now it's widening up my scope of authors that I should look into, because honestly, I think they all did a great job of seamlessly weaving the story together and telling the story. I almost think because there were 26 authors, they had to focus more character-driven plot rather than those nitty-gritty little tiny details that you normally have in a mystery. And it's like, oh yeah, they mentioned that, I forgot. And there are some in here, but like I said, more character, personality kind of thing. Definitely not the best mystery ever, but I mean, if you want to read something that's interesting, it does have a little bit of a twist at the end, like every mystery does. And I mean, I thought it was worth a shot. It does have your generic trope of this detective who is an alcoholic now, especially after this case. And he's kind of lost, his whole life has fallen apart because of this case. So if you don't necessarily like that kind of detective trope, don't think you're really going to care for this. For me, I really don't feel one way or the other. So I rated this book 4 stars because honestly, I enjoyed it. If you really had to push me one way or the other, I'd probably do more 3.5 than 5, or 3.5 than 4. But overall, give it a try. It wasn't bad. So, and it's small, so why not? If you've also read this book, please let me know down in the comments. I'm really excited to hear what other people thought of this book. I noticed on Goodreads the general review is also 3.5 stars, so it seems like I'm not the only one who feels that way, but it definitely was worth time to read in my opinion. If you're wanting something light to read that's not really heavy, this fits the bill. If there's any other books that you think I might like that are mystery, let me know, because I'm kind of in a mystery mood right now. It seems like whenever I come home, my mom really likes watching the Masterpiece Theater pieces on Saturday, I believe, Saturday night and Sunday night. And those always get me in the mood for a mystery. That's why I picked this up again. It's like, oh, I want to read a mystery. So if there's a really good mystery that you guys have read recently, please let me know down below. I'm definitely open to suggestions. Until next time, see ya.